And we are back. Pokemon Sun Hardcore Nuzlocke. The run continues. We are making our way to the 5th trial and the 5th Totem Battle. I'm very excited for this. Let's see if we can rebound from losing our starter last video. Let's leave nothing out there and let's try to keep everybody safe. All right, Team Skull is just kind of blocking the way, and we are just going to get in there and take on Grunt A here. I don't know who this guy is. Came in off the side of the road. Nobody knows him, and an aspiring artist, an aspiring artiste, and the Eradicate comes down. The dark typing here, also with Hustle, so the damage potential is massive. But we have a steel typing, and wait a second, this is Gen 7. Steel doesn't resist dark. No, get him out of there. Somebody get the Diglett. A massive miscalculation on my part, and the best part is he's literally one level away from the Dugtrio, so we couldn't even get the triple Diglett combo because of my failure here, and we just start this episode off with a bang. And hopefully there's no more casualties. Please God, no more casualties. For our Akala Outskirts encounter, it is the tiny little Stuffle. A normal fighting type is just super interesting since it dodges the ghost typing, and that might potentially show up in the Mimikyu Totem Battle after this one. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. That passive Fluffy, which really makes it physically bulky at the cost of being super weak to fire, is also a very unique ability. So we'll take that and add the little bear to the squad. All right, we have another Grand Trial Captain battle here. We got Olivia, and she focuses mainly on rock type Pokemon. So let's see if we can meet her where she is. And she's got 3 Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure she's got the Lycanroc, or the Lycanroc, I should say, and he has a Z move that he likes to spam. So we need to watch out for that, but we have the Wishy-Washy turning into the monstrous Sea Leviathan here. It's not Gyarados, but it'll do. And we have really good stat boosting as long as we're above that 25% health line. And we go in for a Stab Brine right here. Nosepass tanks that all the way to 25% HP. I really like our odds here, especially if we don't get paralyzed, but we do. Wishy-Washy eats the paralysis, but breaks through and gets a Brine. Really good stuff there. Potentially wanted to have a paralysis berry on the fish. Maybe a little miscommunication. Oh, we have the Z move. Okay. So we swapped out the potential paralysis berry for a monstrous water type Z move here. We're doing a little wave, and Wishy-Washy is about to upgrade, and take on this Bulldor. Let's see if we can snipe it. If I'm not mistaken, though, Bulldor should have Sturdy, and this is post-Gen 5, so it is going to be looking really good, and it eats that. It does hold on. How badly do we get punished for this? I don't even remember if we outspeed or not, so let's go ahead and swap out to a safer pick here. And we really don't have any evolved Pokemon. I just noticed that in the party, no one's really upgraded to their second or final evolution here, so that does make it a little bit more interesting as Bulldor heals almost back to full. We're talking about 3/4 health now, but high horsepower, almost a Earthquake here, but a Pony exclusive as we tank a Headbutt, and we are looking for that Mudsdale. The Bulldoze comes down. I think high horsepower does have a 5% mischance, so that's basically the difference between it and Earthquake, but we definitely take that, especially at level 26, but there is the ace, the Lycanroc. Very cool Pokemon. I am wondering if I can get one for this playthrough. I would love to have a Lycanroc as well as a Mimikyu, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what the encounters provide as we swap into our little Stuffle, our little teddy bear, as we eat that, no problem. It's not very effective. On top of that, we have that Fluffy passive we were talking about earlier, which basically halves the physical damage dealt to you in exchange for that weakness to fire. So here is the Continental Crush, though. It is going to be a Stab Z move, and oh my gosh, the little teddy bear is about to get squished by a mountain, but Stuffle holds on with 6 HP to his name and responds with a Stab Brick Break. I'm pretty sure that was a Stab Brick Break. I don't even know, but we are going to swap out, and as long as he doesn't have Pursuit, we are good to go, and the Lycanroc smiles, and we dodge the Rock Throw. This tiny little Puku sidesteps the rock throw. Beautiful stuff. A little bundle, and we get a counter. How does it feel? It feels pretty good to use counter against someone else instead of getting stuck against like a Wobbuffet or something and just getting pimp slapped in the face. So I will take that. Puku finishing with style, and the little Stuffle completely surviving. And on top of that, it gets the evolution into Beware, I believe, the really big Teddy. So that's huge, especially coming off of that Diglett loss. I will take that. And there we go. We've got Beware, a nice tanky, normal fighting type Pokemon. Let's keep this thing going. All right, next on the menu is not a battle, and it is not a first encounter. Instead, it is an evolution, and the little Cubone that could is going to evolve into the Alolan Marowak. Shout out to Ghostly Hero's profile picture. Look at that. Ghost fire typing. Absolutely fantastic. Looks amazing. Really solid stats. Great move pool. I'm just so excited to use this. Again, this is my first full playthrough of this game. It's just been so much fun. The variety, all of the similarities and differences from previous gens. I will take that evolution, and now let's see what's next. For our Hano Beach first encounter, it is going to be the Sandygast, this little haunted sandcastle. Drop back, throw the Great Ball, and secure it. All right, it is now time for a little boss fight against an Ultra Beast. And I don't even know what the name of this one is. I just know a few months ago I was watching a professional tournament and someone was using this Pokemon, so it showed its typing, and that betrayed this right here, right now, because I knew it was Rock Poison, giving it a 4 times weakness to ground. And much like any 4 times weakness, that is just brutal, and it gets one shot by the little pony. So we will take that, but we got to keep an eye out for any other potential Ultra Beast encounters and see if they're going to take us by surprise. It is now time to take on Hao for potentially the 6th or 7th time in this game so far, but he has his Pichu fully evolved to the Alolan Raichu, and he is looking sick. Looks like he's having so much fun surfing on his tail. My goodness, I would love to have one of those. Let's keep our eyes open for that as well. A beautiful pivot into the Stab Psychic because we have the Dark typing on the Persian. I will take that. We get some free chip with the Fake Out, and now it goes for Quick Attack instead of potentially an electric type move, though, which is pretty interesting, but I will take it. It keeps Persian nice and healthy, and Hao's potentially most dangerous Pokemon goes. The fact that it's Psychic Electric is just so much offensive firepower. It really is, but the Dark typing coming in clutch. The Vaporeon coming in now, and I am loving Hao's team. Wow, that is 2 Pokemon that I would not mind trading with him for, and we're going to get Persian to safety as the Charjabug comes in. It's going to have to tank a Water Pulse, and that is quite a bit of damage for the Water Pulse. I would expect nothing less from the Vaporeon as a second one comes in, potentially would have killed with a critical. The return Spark does do over half damage, but we're going to have to get our chubby little battery to safety here. And Salanda and Mudbray are both weak to water, so we are going back into the Persian, who is weak, physically defensive, but not special, if that makes sense. So we tank that Water Pulse, not too shabby. And then the Fake Out comes in and is going to do some chip off the top. And I do believe Vaporeon is now in range for a Stab Bite on top. Oh my gosh, Vaporeon holds on and almost kills Persian. Is that 1 HP? I think that's 1 HP. But the Vaporeon finally falls, and that leaves Hao with 1 Pokemon, and you guessed it, it is his starter. So it's going to be the Dartrix, that is correct, the very cool looking owl. Almost has the Decidueye. I cannot wait to face that. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous because he might kill somebody, but also it's just such a cool Pokemon. I mean, you take an owl and Robin Hood, mash it together. Come on. Like, okay, now we got to swap into Toucannon. We were hovering the Marowak there, but we are looking good. The Pluck comes down. It is going to be neutral and stab, so we got to watch out for that. But we do have the super effective Beak Blast, and this move is so cool. I love this priority charge up, as if they make physical contact with you once you use Beak Blast, it burns them, and then it absolutely slaps them with a 100 power move on top of Stab, and if it's super effective, goodbye. Like, that is just such a phenomenal move, and the Toucan can normally tank at least one, so he is getting so many points for me, really becoming one of my favorite regional birds. But let's see how good that toucan can do for us later in the run as well. Our next first encounter is going to be found under some palm trees here in the berries, and it's going to be the Craballer, the fighting type crab. Chuck the luxury ball and secure it. All right, now we're going to take on Mulaney here. I thought this was like a trial captain, but it looks like he's just a normal trainer. But he focuses mainly on steel-type Pokemon, so I thought this would be a pretty cool fight to showcase as we open up with Sandygast. I really like the move potential on this little sandcastle, but I don't know how good we're going to do against the Skarmory as we tank that, and we get a nice little speed drop there, but this isn't going to go anywhere fast, so let's go ahead and swap out here, and we are hovering that Alolan Marowak. We want to come in here, and Salanda is also fire type, so it could go really well as the trainer swaps out. As we do a little bit of next level outplays, the Metang comes down to meet his foe Marowak in the ring, and this might be a disaster for our boy here as Bullet Punch comes down and Marowak eats that and gets a nice Swords Dance off, does the little flippy flip with its torch, and it might be good night for this guy in the blue jacket. I've already forgot his name. It was something like Maylene, as Swords Dance comes down, and we are 4+ on the attack, and now we're going to get some speed boost as well as Metang cannot force the Marowak out of here, and Metang holds on with no HP, but we get a speed boost, and we are coming in now. It's going to be a +2 speed, +4 attack as the Super Potion just delays the inevitable, and Metang, that is not a Metagross. That is a Metang, and it is gone. Marowak gets the level up just to flex on him, and now he's going to either send out the Skarmory or the Dugtrio, and there it is, Salt in the Wound, as we could not get our Diglett to where this Dugtrio is. A very good speed stat, but since it has the steel typing, it's going to be weak to both fire and fighting here. The only downside really to the steel typing is that, and because we have the +2 boost, I thought maybe we would be faster, but thankfully Dugtrio did not go for a magnitude or something like that, maybe even a bulldoze. So we get the move off in time, and Dugtrio goes down, and that just leaves us where we began with the Skarmory, and the Alolan Marowak, encased in flame, charges in and takes down the bird. I'm just kidding. That ridiculous physical defense is enough to hold off a 4+ attack from the Marowak. My goodness, I know Flame Charge doesn't hit that hard, but that is a tanky bird. And Maybelieve, I don't even know what this guy's name is, but he goes down. Molinay. All right, there's nothing left stopping us from heading in here to the observatory and taking on the 5th totem Pokemon. It is the Vikavolt, the Charjabug evolution. Look at that beefy bug, my goodness. And it gets the Omni Boost. We are in for some pain right here. Sandygast already hurting from the earlier parts of the trial, but we tank that no problem. We get a Rock Tomb down. We are really just trying to set up the rest of our team for success, just leaning into the utility that Rock Tomb can provide. So now the speed is down 1, but it's also got the Charjabug buffing its attack as well, and just here for support in general. And really, it just comes down to, are we willing to sacrifice anybody? If we are, who? And who can tank enough and who can dish enough damage. So really just the basics, but let's try to get as many Rock Tombs as we can down onto the Vikavolt so that the majority of our team can outspeed the ace as multiple Mud Slaps come down from the supporting Charjabug. But thankfully Vikavolt gets a little bit greedy for the charge, but we miss the Rock Tomb. We already have a chance of missing with its base accuracy, but then the Mud Slap's really compiling, and we are just going all in for one more Rock Tomb as another charge comes down, and it is +3 on the special defense now, 1 from the Omni Boost and 2 from the charge, and that is really going to sway our decision into whether or not we should use physical versus special attacks. And we are still in with the Sandcastle as we eat yet another Mud Slap. And I do believe we are in crit range if Vikavolt sees it fitting in his heart to attack our Sandcastle. But the Rock Tomb is really adding up. And now the speed is super low on the Vikavolt on top of its HP being under half HP. So this this sandcastle is flexing so hard right now, and we are still not swapping out. We are staying in, and Sandy Gas is just popping off, but the bug bite is going to connect here, and the sandcastle holds on. The little pad, the little shovel on top of its head is just sitting there, and he is looking as surprised as can be as we are, as he holds on with 13 HP, a baker's dozen to his name, her name, and now we are going to swap out, but really, Sandy Gas has set the stage here. This is beautiful. We have so many options. We can go into our own charge bug. We can get the Mudbray in there. Really, everyone's going to be faster, and they're probably just going to have to deal with the mud slaps from the charge bug. And since we're focusing down the ace, we don't have to worry about a refreshed support Pokemon, because when you kill the charger bug first, I do believe another Pokemon comes in. So it's usually better to take out the ace, as we cannot tank that at all. However, we may be risking it all for another Rock Tomb, as our accuracy hasn't been decreased yet, and that does a good chunk of damage, gets Vikavolt down in speed even more, and the String Shot comes down, and it's going to mess with our speed a little bit here, and the charge, he gets greedy for a charge instead of putting down our pony. That is absolutely beautiful. We could risk it all for another Rock Tomb here, and that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go for it all, but it goes for a Vice Grip. The supporting Chubby Battery gets the Vice Grip off, but the Rock Tomb comes down. All of those speed debuffs add up, and Vikavolt falls before it can take out the Stallion, and that is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive, beautiful stuff. And now it is our pony versus the remaining member of this fight, which is the Chubby Charjabug. And now we really just have feast or famine, as we can just chuck in our fresh Salandit. He cannot evolve, but he is here to play, and we're going to lock in potentially a Z move just to show off. And I am just kidding. We just go straight for the Flame Burst. We don't even need to mess with the ridiculously long animation, as the little cute lizard is ready to finish this fight. If we can just break through, I'm just kidding. We're going for the style points. We're going all in on the Inferno Overdrive. If we can see through the paralysis and the accuracy debuff, and the little lizard that could, he gets ready. He gets pumped, and he is going in against the Charge Bug. The Z move comes down. Inferno Overdrive. He said, I cannot evolve, but I can end this fight. And the Charger Bug, there is no way he can survive an atomic bomb, and that is GG. Well played. What a cute little lizard. And that leads to another evolution. We're gonna get the Mudsdale. Just so many good things happening here. We are really rebounding from that Diglett loss early on. We are trying to pay tribute to Litten, who fell last video. So let's just take all this in stride and keep this momentum going. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.